right, party people, welcome to another episode. Welcome back. I have with me on my left is Tom Horvath, and we are at
Coast Corvette.
Coast Corvette in Anaheim, directly across the freeway from the happiest place on earth called Disneyland. What do we have behind us, Tom?
Really, really cool project. Big block.
Big block.
64 Corvette RestoMod.
Okay, what is that word? Retro rod?
Modified Chevrolet Corvette.
Okay.
To pretty much what anybody would want to do to one of these cars. Big block power, you know, almost 500 horsepower, crate motor with a carburetor. And why I like that
that's an interesting combination. Yeah, tell me, because that is interesting.
You know, everybody wants to go fuel injected.
That's where my mind's going.
But the first thing, what happens when you go fuel injected, you kill the lope of the cam. You just can't hear it no more. Boom, 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 boom. You kill that.
Okay.
So I see a lot of guys
You're using
doing
all this
now.
terminology. I'm wondering how much of my audience, you know, because it's such a diverse audience, where you're suddenly you're like talking about the lope of the cam. It's like, I guarantee a big part of my audience would be like, what the heck did he just say?
Big
the lope
burnouts.
of the can.
Big burnouts, that's what
But
it
you're
means.
also talking about noise too, right?
Noise,
you know, as far as the
and,
duration, the lift, that type of stuff of the cam.
Really cool stuff.
So the carburetor, so we won't belabor the moment. So carbureted, which is unique, because I would have gone to fuel injection.
And this car would have only come it could have come with an automatic, but probably a 4-speed.
Okay.
But this car has a 5-speed Tremec in it.
5-speed Tremec.
5-speed
What does
Tremec.
that mean?
So what
Even
happens,
in my ears, that's foreign.
So what happens to these cars when you have this kind of horsepower and the gearing in the rear end is you run out of speed. You just can't go any faster because
it's
the
just
gears run out.
Oh,
You know,
the
you're
gears,
going
okay.
super fast.
I thought maybe
attacking
you
all
were
kinds
headed
of-
towards the back end's just constantly breaking loose because you have that much power.
Well, that's going to happen too. But
you're actually talking about
top
speed. Okay.
Yeah, top speed.
So you need more gears to essentially harness that speed and keep the car moving without redlining it.
Without
Is that a
redlining.
fair statement?
And you know, you're going to get a lot better fuel. It's going to be more. This car is not fuel efficient.
Right.
Absolutely
you're
not
right.
fuel efficient.
But
it's going to be better than with a 4-speed.
Okay.
So these are the trick things of building a retro rod like this. You're taking a beautiful, beautiful Corvette, and you are upgrading it. And I think you're going to get Ken to kind of talk about all the
in a moment I'm going to bring
major
Ken,
things that
which
he's
is the
done on
guy,
this car.
which is the mad science. And I was talking to Ken, and I can see the passion coming out.
Oh, yeah.
But before we get there, let's talk about a few things. So basics: frame off restoration.
Yep.
So just a simple explanation is they literally, as in Ken, they take the body, the engine, everything comes off of the frame.
Yep.
So they start out restoring the frame, sandblast it, powder coat it. So that's a whole nother level as far as restoration. So what kind of money is going into this car when you include the car itself, you know, a crated engine, a new transmission? I mean, how much money are we talking about?
Hundreds
of thousands of dollars. Okay.
Hundreds.
So in my world, have I ever worked on a car like this? Yes, I have. But most of my world is what's considered original equipment, meaning your stock car. It could be an exotic, it could be a luxury cruiser, whatever, but it's still factory produced. So this is, you know, this really is unique. So with that said, I'm going to pull Ken on because I want him to show some of the mods that he made, because it really is all about the details.
Yes, it is.
You know, not to overuse that statement, but detailing really will make the difference. So let's bring Ken on camera and we'll go from there. Party people, we're back. I've got Ken with me. He is the master engineer behind this really, really cool project. So with that said, is before I turn that camera on, I'm kind of assessing this and I'm picking Ken's brain, and he instantly starts going into the custom mods that he did with this engine. I thought, okay, Ken, back up, because I want to capture this on video, because really the difference is all about the details. And I could just tell by your voice and your enthusiasm that there's a lot of passion behind this. And then when you start dissecting those details, it's like, okay, a guy that's not really into this, he's not going to care about that kind of stuff. But I could tell that you could care, and it's like, okay, this would be perfect for my audience. So with that said, I'm going to take that camera off the tripod because I want to show this engine, and I want you to go around, and I want you to dissect some of the custom mods that you did, which is, to me, represents passion driven. Is that a fair statement?
Fair enough.
Okay.
True.
So
True
hold
and
that
fair.
thought for a moment.
True and fair.
Okay, so let's take a peek at this engine,
Okay.
which just looks fabulous. Now, something that Tom highlighted, and what I want to do is see if I can capture, where would be the best point to capture the frame through this? Over there, or
Gosh,
like, I mean, is it possible?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, it's a little dusty, but you know, here's your frame rails running down through here, and it's all been powder coated. You can
Okay.
kind of, it's dark in here, but you can see the frame rail going across in front of the engine bay, in front of the pulleys, and you know, then of course, just heading down. Here's your actual frame rail down here with the new fuel line, the bigger 3/8 line down here
Okay.
for the big block.
So you were talking about, for example, like, you can really dissect this any way you want, because you talked about the radiator, or I'm sorry, you talked about the fact that, for example, this engine is bigger versus the year of the car.
Certainly, absolutely. We wanted to use a high horsepower motor, so we used the 427 440 crate motor deluxe. Comes with a carburetor, distributor, wires, starter motor, and so on.
So
HEI ignition, it's HEI ignition, which we're going to work with his tack. I used some big tube hooker headers on here, with a 67 style aluminum radiator.
So let me
in
back up a
here.
moment, because
Sure.
once again, I have such a diverse audience. So here we
Okay.
have the distributor, because you mentioned that underneath the air intake is the carburetor.
Yep, Holley carburetor.
Okay,
Simple,
Holly,
simple old school 850 Holley, real
Oh.
easy to work on. Put a nice-
lovely. Okay,
Put a nice feed line on there. It's got electric choke, so it'll operate really nice and simple, low maintenance. Got throttle hooked up, choke's ready to go. Got the nice fuel line made in here. Put the vintage air in here.
you also talked about the headers. So the headers are the exhaust.
Yeah, those are
This is where the exhaust exits from the heads themselves. So the
Exactly.
headers come off right here.
yeah, and those are some big tube hooker headers.
Hooker headers.
Hooker
I remember, man, what year did hooker headers come out? Do
Yeah.
you know?
Well, I can tell you when I was 15, you could hear all about them. So they've been
Because
around
I grew
quite a
up with
while.
hooker headers. It's like, you know,
Sure.
it's just funny, because it's like,
Yeah.
oh, hooker, huh?
Yeah, old school style Holley and everything. Mechanically driven fan and cooling system, 67 big block style. This car has power steering,
Yeah,
power
talk about, for
brakes.
example, the hosing, how you custom,
Yeah,
you had
the-
to configure that. But
Well,
now
the vintage air, and they give you the hoses. You get to are allowed to make them up and lay them out with your heater valve, and as you can design.
so
But I
that's
also
the,
trim these off.
what's that compressor that you're pointing at? That's for the AC.
That's
so that's
correct.
the AC pump?
Yes,
Would
sir.
that be,
Yeah, well,
okay.
that's the air conditioning compressor with
Okay, the
clutch.
compressor. Okay, with the
Yeah.
clutch. All
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
now I'm going to guess that's not stock for this year of car. Is that
That's
correct?
correct. It's aftermarket, and if
Okay.
you come around here, when you do, you'll see up under the firewall.
So you
Okay.
open the door. Let's take a look at the AC.
Yeah, the Generation 4 vintage air.
Okay. So if we look underneath here, what am I looking at? That's
this
capturing
is
up.
the fan, the blower, the heater, air conditioning suitcase assembly all tucked in there. It's going to be behind the glove box.
Okay.
You won't see it.
Because the lighting's not showing up very
No,
well,
it's-
which
it's not.
I don't
It's a-
have any.
Yeah, it's the heart. It's the heart of the air conditioning
Yeah.
system.
Okay. Nice.
uh,
But you also described, for example, you called them the tabs or the ears on the.
I've taken the ears off of the compressor here. They're made as a universal. I don't like universal fit type stuff, so I just wanted to sanitize it. So I
Yeah.
removed the ears.
I like that
sticking up
word,
in there.
sanitized it. That's
Yeah,
good.
Again, the same
Makes
thing.
it cleaner. I would call it cleaner.
Cleaner,
It's a
yeah,
much
absolutely.
cleaner look.
You know, just like the temperature fitting running down here with the heat insulation wiring here. I put the little brackets in here and then ran the fuel line really nice and sanitary. Brought my heater hoses in from the other side so I didn't kind of run into this, and tied all that in together.
Yeah.
Got my belts all lined up nice and remounted the voltage regulator and all the different things. And of course down here it has the electronic power brakes, It's got the dual master cylinder, of course, but down in the fender well, it's an electronic
So
assist.
that's unique itself, right? Electronic power brakes.
Yeah, that's kind of different on this particular project, and with the big tall valve covers, we had no room for that. And I actually had to make a dimple in the inner skirt here. If you look down here in the fender well, and we're going to black this out when we're done,
Okay.
we had to fabricate a little bit of room in here, a little
Sure.
shield in there, give ourselves room so we have the compressor sitting with the tall valve covers and allow room to adjust it. I called the manufacturer and they didn't have any ideas for this particular Chevy crate motor, which has a 2-year warranty, 440 horsepower, and you can run it on pump gas.
Yeah.
Smooth idle.
So define
lots of
pump
power.
gas. Are we talking
High tech.
premium only?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you run premium
But
in
that's
it.
pretty convenient. You could literally pull into any gas station, fill it up with premium, and you're good to go.
Absolutely. And I like using these motors. I had a customer just last year, John, we put the 502 horse motor in it. A year after we put it in, he had a carburetor problem. Chevrolet paid for a new carburetor and getting it all straightened out right out of
Nice.
the box. Everything warranted. So anyway.
So, okay, so just in ending, let's talk about the brakes, because normally they would come with drums on all 4 corners. Is that correct?
Yeah, a couple things we wanted to do, and John and I, the customer, just talked about this up front. We wanted to put 4-wheel disc brakes in here, so it's got the factory 67 and newer style 4-wheel disc brakes, original all the way around.
I'm trying to figure out if there's a way I can
You
capture
really
that.
can't
Probably
see it
not.
unless you just throw some old photographs when I've got it.
Yeah,
You know,
okay.
You can see it. But,
Which I can do that.
Yeah, so we upgraded all the disc brakes. We upgraded the front frame section, put another section in it here. We could dimple it for the big harmonic balancer.
Okay,
and
what
the
did you
extra
have to
pulleys.
dimple?
Well, we had to actually, we had to actually cut out the top of the frame. And,
Oh, okay,
and
you're
take,
talking about the frame.
and
You
take
dimpled
it
the
out
frame.
of another car.
Okay, yes, okay.
Okay, and weld it in there so we could get the pulleys in there.
Right, okay.
And actually, I've got a car out back in the boneyard. I could walk out there and you can see what we cut out.
Yeah, so this whole pulley assembly needed additional room. Therefore, you had to fabricate and customize the frame itself, correct?
Yep. And,
Okay.
and some people would just cut it out with a torch and call it a day, but we actually
Right.
grafted in an original thing and finished it out. And then we also put a removable cross member for the Tremec 5-speed, which was built by American Powertrain. And we
Okay.
used a 370 posi rear. This is going to be a good driver.
So
Got-
posi, just to clarify for my audience, that dictates that both wheels will spin.
Correct.
When the power is transferred from that engine through the transmission back to the rear end, rather than a single power wheel that just spins one of those wheels. So the posi means positive traction for both sides of the wheels, correct?
That's correct. And
Okay.
you should be able to light these tires up with all the horsepower
Yeah.
and the power band, and it'll really go. It should be a lot of fun for him. Good fun driver. So
All right, cool. Well, thank you, Ken. I appreciate your time, and certainly the customer is going to appreciate your attention to detail because the difference is always about the details.
yes, I totally agree with that. We're also adding the leather interior and electric windows.
Oh, okay.
And all the creature comforts with extra insulation interior, so you can
Wow.
wants to drive it across country.
Yeah, lovely. Okay, well, thanks again, Ken.